Hello, hello, hello. What's up? What's up? What's up? Here we are, week two of Preventive and Therapeutic. I wish to be a trainer to kind of understand um, some basic things like, okay, what is an athletic trainer? What's the difference between an athletic trainer and a personal trainer? How do they interact with coaches, with physicians, uh, and athletic directors? And whose job is it to keep everybody safe? So, um, so all in all, everyone um, did pretty good. You know, with all the adjustments that we're making right now, you guys are doing great. So keep your head up, keep your head in the books, and make sure that you stay uh, on time with turning in assignments. So with things being the way they are, if you get behind, it's going to be an uphill climb to make sure that you have everything. The textbook that's connected to McGraw-Hill Connect is the textbook for the course. If you have another textbook, you will be able to get a code. You should be able to get a code from the bookstore to access the online materials um, in McGraw-Hill, and you shouldn't have a problem. Um, there will be PowerPoints associated with everything. So from a uh, from that standpoint, you'll be able to gather the information mostly from the PowerPoints, um, if necessary. But the textbook is also necessary um, in that the assignments come from there. So if the assignments come from there, then the chances are you're going to be beneficiary to the assignments and be successful. So I do recommend that you purchase the textbook. I recommend you purchase the textbook from McGraw-Hill so that you have all the resources and adjuncts associated with the course. All right, so week two. So this week we're going to talk about organizing and administering an athletic healthcare program. So right now, um, the athletic healthcare program is front and center because of COVID-19. And people are kind of talking about the frontline workers. And so in athletics right now, in the bubble down in Orlando, the Wubble in Bradenton, Florida, in the WNBA, do you have athletic trainers that are serving as frontline healthcare workers? They're doing the daily screens with the temperature checks. In some instances, they may be performing the uh, test um, to test for the SARS virus, which is COVID-19, and also making sure that you have safety measures in place, such as social distancing, that folks are wearing masks and protecting themselves, and not sharing water bottles, et cetera, et cetera. So all over the planet. I'm speaking specifically of the bubble that's being utilized in professional basketball. So that type of environment, still not ideal, but it seems to be working. And um, that idea, of course, was brought about with the help of athletic trainers who are also public health workers like myself, thinking through all the different measures and things that need to take place in order for athletics to take place, those sports to take place in a safe environment. Haven't quite got there with football yet, um, but nonetheless, I digress. And so we're talking about the athletic healthcare program, and and what that entails. And so the first thing you have to do for an athletic healthcare program is find out, okay, who's in charge. So you have to develop policies and procedures. How are you going to run everything on a daily basis, and define the scope of the program, like who's going to be served. Are we serving only student athletes? Are we serving student athletes in the community? Are we serving coaches and their families, um, or folks associated with the organization? So those things are essentially important, as we move forward in the program. So for those of you who don't know, did not read my bio, or have taken a moment uh, to discover a little bit of history about myself, I'm an athletic trainer, and I worked in professional sports for several years, um, between the NFL, the NBA, the WNBA, and NBA G League. So I've been around. I've seen a lot of things, and have not seen COVID-19 until now. Back in March, I was on the task force for the NCAA to develop return to campus measures for uh, the Power Five, Division One, Division Two, and Division Three to return to campus. So because of all of the requirements of Division Two and some of the Division One programs and Division Three programs have canceled fall sports because of social distancing and being able to quarantine and do the necessary things to keep everyone safe and COVID free. And so, with that being said, I have quite the experience with developing the athletic healthcare program, because I've been asked to do so on several occasions throughout the course of my career. So probably the bulk of my career I spent working with the NBA as it expanded across the U.S. With the NBA D League, or G League as it is now known. So expanding in the cities and building a team of physicians and other healthcare providers to provide for frontline healthcare to, and so as you go through the PowerPoints this week, you'll see things like facility personnel coverage and sports coverage. And so for those of you who played sports, you're familiar with, sport coverage, where you have someone that's present to provide that first line of healthcare to a particular sports team or to a particular venue. And so you also discuss the hiring process and what those facilities should have with regard to materials, how to keep it clean, and how to maintain it, and what types of services are going to be offered. So for those of you who played, high school sports or current college athletes, you're familiar with the pre-participation physical. Those are some of the things that are administered or coordinated by the athletic trainer. So very, very important to have the athletic trainer involved in each aspect of delivering athletic health care, because the athletic trainer is the one that actually spends the most time, with the athlete. So, so this week in Preventive and Therapeutic, you will have Chapter 2, and you'll have a Chapter 2 quiz associated with organization and administration of athletic healthcare. Also, on the discussion board this week, I have the 7 Stephen Covey. And I found this to be very beneficial. You can take this and apply it. But on the discussion board, I want you guys to watch the videos. The video is about 6.5 minutes long. And I want you to discuss the 7 habits and which ones resonated with you, and just have a discussion about it with your classmates. Your first discussion is due on Wednesday. Your follow-up discussions are due on Sunday. But I would hope that you guys would be interacting with each other throughout the course of the week on the discussion board. So that's all I have for week 2. And if you guys have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to me. You guys did well. I know it was a little bit of it's different. So a little bit of anxiety. Oh man, I don't know how to McGraw Hill. But guess what? You know what? Everybody figured it out. And that's kind of what brought me back to the 7 habits of highly effective people. It's normally something I may do around midway in the semester, but I moved it up to this part of the semester because a lot of you guys exhibited these 7 habits, of highly effective people. So as you take a look, be encouraged. You know, think about some things that you may want to change, or focus on in your life, and apply these 7 habits of highly successful people. All right. Have a great week, and talk to some of you soon.